This is Radio Katipunan 87.9 FM, the voice of the Blue Eagle.
Are you feeling sore? We can make that better. Tune in to the Ateneo Senior High School's first radio program, Soar, the Seniors On Air Radio. Don't change that channel yet, because Soar is ready to put the you in youth. Soar, Seniors On Air, here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Radyo. 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 Katipunan. Radyo. Katipunan. Radyo. Katipunan. Radyo. 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 Katipunan. Radyo. Radyo. Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atenista sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawan ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod, todo sa kayod, dunong at tulog. Lipat na Blue Eagle, kaning giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
We all want to live healthier in mind, body, and spirit. But where do we start? Sometimes, all it takes is a good conversation. Tune in to Wellness Wednesdays on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Together with experts, inspiring guests, and real stories, we explore tips you can actually use. From managing stress, to eating better, to finding balance in a busy world. Because here, we believe wellness isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. So join us, and let's make every Wednesday a step toward your healthiest self. Wellness Wednesdays, wellness that speaks to you. From the body, mind, to might. Every Wednesday on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Good evening. Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays, wellness that speaks to you from the body, mind, and mind. My name is Gina Hechanova.
And I'm Camille Yusay.
We are from the Renew Health Organization, PH, a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to making mental health services available in communities, schools, and workplaces.
And today we're talking about something really important, which is mental health literacy. Because when people know the facts, they can seek help earlier, support others, and create healthier communities.
So, Cam, what happens if people don't know? Why are we focusing on mental health literacy?
Yes, and I think that's an important question because if people don't know what is mental health and what mental health literacy is all about, it can affect help seeking, right? If they need help, it can affect stigma and discrimination towards people who are experiencing mental health issues. And if people do not know mental health literacy or any information on it, people can employ unhealthy coping strategies for themselves that are not really helpful. No?
So, in fact, kanina I was just talking to someone na kinikwento niya na may mental health issues na pala siya. But his parents would not recognize that. So lalong lumalala na until it got to the point na it was almost breaking point. So it's important, no, to know what mental health is when there might be signs already so that we can seek help early enough, right?
Exactly.
So today what we'd like to do is try to make literacy fun and interactive. So we're gonna offer you some myths and some facts, and let's see how much you know about mental health.
All right. So now let's see how much you know about it. We'll have something posted on our videos as well no, later. We'll read statements about mental health or about mental health issues, disorders. And maybe you can try to guess if it's a myth or a fact in the chat box here in Facebook Live or in YouTube, no? But we can only see the chat box in Facebook. So you might want to type in your answers there before we reveal the truth, all right? So if you're watching live, drop your answers in the chat box or comment section of Radyo Katipunan's live video. If you're listening later, maybe you can say your answer out loud or jot it down just to check if you know if it's a fact or a myth. And let's see how many you get right. So maybe we can start with the first myth or fact, Doc Gina.
Sige. So the first myth or fact is mental health problems are rare in the Philippines. Yan. So gaano nga ba ka-rare ang mental health sa Pilipinas? Sige nga, can we hear your answers? Meron ba kayong mga sagot sa ating mga nanunood?
Yeah, we're waiting for some comments on Facebook.
Do you think it's rare or do you think it's not rare? So is it a myth? Are mental health problems rare? Yan. Let's see. If there are some responses, may comment na yata. Not quite yet.
Actually, may nag-message, hindi doon sa comment, no? May nag-PM. Sabi niya, it is not rare. Well, ito yung personal niya. It's not
Okay.
rare kasi ang dami na daw incidents of
Okay.
mental health conditions. Ayan.
Pero, I mean, we hear about it all the time now, no? So, gaano ba kadami, di ba? So, the latest data is actually from a national health survey that was, if I'm not mistaken, 2020...
2025.
2025?
24.
Yeah, na 14 in 100 Filipinos. So, 14 Filipinos for every 100 report to have a mental health disorder or illness.
Maybe we can show that in our
Yeah.
PowerPoint, no? We can show that to our
can
audience.
we cue up our slides kaya? Let's see if we can show that.
And I'm not sure if it's showing, but this is from the Philippine National Survey for Mental Health and Well-Being among adults in 2025.
Okay.
I don't know if it's showing in the screen.
Parang wala pa. Sige. Let's just go to our next question. Sige. Go, Cam.
Yan. The next statement, no, if it's a fact or a myth, is depression is the most common mental health problem nowadays. So depression is the most common mental health problem. So we'll give you time to type in the comment section what you think, if it's a fact or a myth. Is depression the most common mental health condition or problem
Kasi
right
nga
now?
naman, parang madalas mong marinig, di ba? Nade-depress ako.
Oo,
di ba?
oo.
So, gaano nga ba katotoo ang na depression is the most common?
Yes.
Anong sagot natin doon, Doc Cam?
Ito, hinihintay ko pa yung mga tao. Parang nasushy sila maglagay
Oo
ng
nga.
answers nila, no? Well, siguro may nagsasabi din na anxiety, dami din, no?
That's right.
But actually, tama na, it's a myth. Depression is not the most common mental
That's right.
health problem nowadays. In fact, the data from the most recent national survey for mental health reveals that anxiety is the most prevalent mental health problem now, and this is amongst Filipinos. No, again, let's try if the PowerPoint will show on the screen. Ayan.
Doc, can you, in layman's language, sige nga, can you talk a little bit about anxiety? Pag sinabi bang anxious or anxiety. Ano yung mga parang signs ng
Signs of
anxiety?
anxiety, ayan. So, well, actually, baka nga may mix ng mga tao yung anxiety and depression kasi may common symptoms din sila, Doc Jean, no? So, for anxiety, it's actually the intense worry, no?
Yeah.
Intense worrying, really intense worrying. Some symptoms can be heart palpitations, right? May mga physical symptoms, but also really the overthinking and worrying that is debilitating. It can cause distress and
Okay.
it can cause dysfunction in different areas of your life. For example, in school, as well as at home or at work. So malalaman na natin kapag condition or disorder na talaga siya kasi may ano na siya, causing distress and causing dysfunction, right? So, yun yung mga common symptoms of anxiety.
So naalala ko, especially during COVID, parang yung anxiety talagang nag-peak. And normal naman din, di ba? Parang we were at a situation where people parang felt they had no control over what's happening. We didn't know at that time whether magkakameds tayo or not. And so there's a lot of anxiety happening during that time. Now, hopefully, medyo bumaba na siya, although the data is showing us na medyo mataas pa rin, ano? Yung anxiety.
Correct. So, I don't know if it's fixed already. Maybe we can show this because it's really interesting aside from depression and anxiety, which anxiety is 6.4% and depression is 3.1. But actually, mas mataas pa nga yung mga suicide ideations.
Oo
no?
nga, nakakatakot yun, ano? Parang 7.85% suicide ideations.
Yes. And also, alcohol use
Oo nga.
disorder.
Our students, busina, almost 5%, no?
Yes.
Might be overusing alcohol.
Oh, and this is from a recent study done, I think, like 2024. They rolled out a study and then released it this year.
Okay, and this is Filipino data.
Yes.
Sige. You wanna go into the next myth or fact?
Alright. Sige. So, let's go back to another myth or fact. No? Mental health programs are only for people who cannot handle life or are crazy. Ito yung sinasabi nila na, ay, para sa mga baliw lang yan. Yung
Oo
mga
nga.
interventions or therapy, no?
Oo, meron akong makilala na ganyan na parang ayaw nila sumali sa mga programs kasi baka sabihin baliw sila. Oo. So, ano bang sagot natin doon? Myth ba yon or fact ba yon,
Nako,
Doc?
definitely it's a myth.
Oo nga.
It's really a myth, no? Because mental health programs can help anyone build coping skills, improve relationships, no, build support systems, as well as navigate the challenges that they are experiencing when they have a mental health condition. So parang it's going to the gym, no, para sa utak mo, or syempre kung if you feel symptoms when you're sick, you go to a doctor.
Correct, correct.
Bakit mas madali pumunta sa doctor kaysa sa ano?
Oo nga. Dapat nina-normalize na natin, no? Seeing a professional.
Correct.
So, dun sa slide, nakita naman natin na parang continuum naman siya, di ba? That you can be mentally healthy and at the other extreme would be those with severe disorder. Can you explain the middle part?
Ayan. So, as you can see, everyone has mental health, right? Each person, kahit sino man yan, lahat tayo may mental health. And we experience mental health in a continuum. You mentioned that we can be healthy, which is normal and functioning. And then we can go into the clinical side, right? If we experience so many or patong-patong kung baga or compounding experiences or adverse experiences. But also in the middle, we can experience stress or distress in a normal day. Obviously, it's common to experience stress, especially now, no, or even during COVID, we experience stress.
Sure.
So we can react. So we can be in the yellow and orange part, right? We can initially react towards stress or distress, mga common stress. But if we experience it paulit-ulit, tas wala tayong ginagawa, no, na anything to address it, we can be injured or have a significant functional impairment. And if we don't really treat it, and we just go about kung ano man yung unhealthy coping natin, we go into a clinical, more severe end of the spectrum.
So let's go to the next myth. Kasi parang related yung next myth dun sa kinikwento mo. If it's a continuum and there is parang one part of it na parang nagre-react ka lang because of stressors, hindi ba pwede if you ignore it? Won't it just go away pag wala na yung stressors, di ba? So, hindi ba pwede na mawala yung symptoms if you just ignore it? Okay.
Yes. So, ano ba yung tamang sagot doon?
Let's bring up that slide so we can show them how, yan. So, gusto lang namin i-share na kasi kadalasan dito sa Philippines, pag sinabing may mental health problem, kadalasan naghahanap na ng professional, which can be a licensed psychologist or a licensed psychiatrist or a licensed counselor, guidance counselor. But the truth is, because nga continuum, there are things that we can do to help ourselves. So parang we don't necessarily just ignore it, di ba?
Yes,
Parang there
yes.
are things we can do when we are stressed. And yung social support dyan sa slide na yan, there are actually also things we can do to help our friends, our loved ones. Sometimes yung pangangamusta lang, 'di ba? Parang malaking bagay na 'yon. Yung meron meron nakikinig sa iyo, meron nakikiramay sa iyo. Sometimes that's actually enough, especially when hindi naman severe ang stressors natin.
Correct. So definitely, that is a myth, no, na you shouldn't ignore your mental health problems. Sometimes mahilig tayo to sweep it under the rug.
Correct.
Or distract ourselves.
Denial is the most common coping. Oo nga. And distraction. Naalala ko yun during COVID. We just did a study and distraction was the most common way of coping. And not to say it's bad. Because sometimes distraction can be good, di ba? Kaya lang, minsan, kapag ini-ignore mo na yung problema na pwede mo naman dapat harapin, that's when parang napupuno, di ba? Nagko-compound until it becomes, or it seems unmanageable.
And if it's not really managed or addressed, it can go on for a long time, and it can become chronic stress that can lead you to, the other end of the spectrum.
Okay.
Right?
So, ang tanong ko, kapag medyo problematic na, specialista na lang ba ang pwedeng tumulong sa atin?
Yes. So, ayan, yung another myth or fact, no? So, are only mental health specialists ba can help us with our mental health problems? So, dapat mental health specialist or license, yun. And again, nasyashy pa yung mga tao sa Facebook. Ayan. So, wala tayong mga comments. But may mga PMs ako na na-receive, no? Na, yung sagot dyan, may nakakorrect din sa PM. It's another myth. Alright? So, not everyone, if you can see kanina sa pinakita ni Doc Gina, no? Not everyone will actually need mental health specialists, right? Because again, mental health is a continuum. And depende kung ano yung mga symptoms, how severe the symptoms are, and if you are just stressed or in distress, no, if hindi pa naman siya nakaka-function ka pa naman. So those with mild symptoms or stressful life events, yung nakaka-experience ng stress in life, can benefit from actually taking care of themselves or self-care, yung self-care na tinatawag natin. No? Also support from family members, from friends, from loved ones, so that can also help. No? And early interventions by trained para-professionals. So as you can see in this triangle on the screen, there are different areas na pwedeng pasukan na when it comes to mental health. So everyone can benefit from mental health promotion and prevention. And this episode actually is part of that, mental health literacy. This is a way to promote what mental health really is and also to prevent kung ano man yung symptoms. Later, maybe we'll go into a coping strategy, no? And then for early interventions, trained providers or paraprofessionals who have been trained in mental health interventions can do this, no, and you can benefit from that. And as you go up, if there are more severe symptoms of mental health issues, there are mental health services in primary care, given by health or allied health professionals, also mental health in general hospitals, and eventually, if severe cases and disorders, no, there's mental health in specialized facilities by mental health licensed professionals also.
So, hindi lahat ng tao kailangan NCMH na or National Center
Yes.
for Mental Health na or hospital na kaagad.
Correct,
Right?
correct.
So, the point here is if 14 of 100 Filipinos might need specialized care, that means there's still what? 86 out of 100 that
Yeah.
can be helped either through self-care,
Self-care.
informal care, community-based care, or outpatient care. So, kwento ko lang, no? Kanina we were just in a meeting with a local government unit at naikwento nila na after Super Typhoon hit, devastated their area, para after some time, there was this one child na they had to rescue kasi kinulong na daw sa hawla ng aso yung bata kasi nagwawala. Di ba? No, so, parang ganun nakalala. Pero, when they were able to bring in a psychiatrist from another island, it was PTSD pala. So,
Oh my
post-traumatic stress disorder. And the thing is, kung naagapan, di ba, yung diagnosis, hindi kailangan, di ba, it didn't have to get that far.
Yes.
And so, I guess that's also one of the messages that we want to make. No? Early screening, early diagnosis does help a lot kasi we want to prevent things from getting that, that severe.
pa.
Oo.
Correct, Doc Jean. And naalala ko din no na a lot of people, even my clients, initially hesitate to go into therapy because pang ano ba yan, may mental health condition na ba? And I always tell them, you know what, you don't even need to have a disorder or a condition to talk to someone or to talk
That's
to a
right.
therapist, no? If you just want to parse through different stressors or problems and you need someone who is unbiased to listen to you and to help you or guide you through some coping mechanisms that you might not have and you might want to learn about, that's a good route to take then, no? To just to seek help, talk to a therapist or licensed professional, no?
Yeah.
Or even get yourself screened if you feel that there's parang iba na, something's wrong.
That's
na,
right.
no?
And when you say something's wrong, normally, parang when people say, so when do you know that you need to seek help? So one of the things that we ask is, one, meron bang nag-iba, right? So deviance. Did that person's behavior change?
Yes,
Na,
yes.
kunyari, dati, ano naman siya, masaya siya, tapos biglang hindi na. So, or dati, nakikipag-usap siya sa tao, tapos biglang nagkukulong na.
Nag-isolate, oo.
So that's one. But the other thing that we want to look out for is dysfunction. No?
Dysfunction.
So, nakakapag-aral pa ba siya? Or kung nagtatrabaho siya, nakakapagtrabaho pa ba siya? So, yung nagagawa pa ba niya yung responsibilities na ginagawa niya? The other would be distress. No?
Yes,
Does the person actually maybe admit to feeling distressed? And we also want to look at how long. Matagal na ba itong nangyayari? Or weeks? Is it months na? Then parang these are signs na, oops, kailangan ata natin
Correct.
mag-seek ng help. So, ang mahirap lang kasi, Docam, di ba, parang ang napakakonti po ng mental health professionals dito sa Pilipinas. Alam niyo po ba that there are only about 2,300 licensed psychologists for more than 100 million Filipinos.
And they're not all of them are practicing, right?
And
Those are
most
just
of them are in cities. So, meron mga regions, madaming LGUs, wala man lang isa na licensed psychologist. Mas konti pa ang psychiatrist. Parang mga 700 ba? 800 lang sa buong Pilipinas. Yan. Which brings us to the last myth. Yan. Which is, mental health care is not accessible or affordable. Naku, ang dami kong kilala, nagre-reklamo. Hindi nila alam kung saan pupunta. Or sabihin nila, super mahal.
Yes.
Mag-seek ng help or magpa-diagnose. So, is this a myth or fact? It's kind of both. It is true in the sense na dahil napakakonti ng mental health professional. At dahil may pagkakonti, may pagkamahal din.
Yes.
Sa totoo lang, aminin na natin. But it's also a myth in the sense na the silver lining is that kami nga sa Renew Health ni Doc Cam, we are a non-profit trying to make mental health services accessible. So there is naman a counter movement. There is a movement towards providing mental health services in schools, in workplaces, in communities. So meron ng pakonti-konti na LGUs na nagbibigay sa health center ng mga gamot, meron ng nagsiscreen, pero medyo baby steps pa lang. PhilHealth has actually also launched a mental health package 2023 pa. Although hindi ko alam kung gaano kadami ang nagbibigay na nitong package na ito. Pero so yun, parang sobrang baby pa ang community-based mental health, but we're hoping that, in time, it will be accessible.
Yes, and I agree, Doc Gina. And we can see naman, I don't know, in Facebook, I always see it that there are LGUs that are giving free medications in the CHDs, no? City Health Departments. It's accessible. And I also hope that other LGUs, especially not in Metro Manila alone, no? In other parts of the Philippines can also do that, right? Especially if medyo nakikita din nila sa LGUs nila, medyo mataas yung prevalence of mental health issues. But tama si Doc Gina na kanina, we were talking about the pyramid, right? Na if 14 lang out of 100 Filipinos yung severe and maraming pwede doon sa not so severe, we can have mental health available or services available in the communities, right? By training paraprofessionals at the community level to give these types of services to reach more Filipinos. And aside from that, the Department of Education, has also a website called Lusog Isip online. So I think it's Lusog Isip .deped, no?
So I actually just commented
Yan, oo.
on the Facebook page, the link.
Yes.
So ang maganda dito is there are materials on self-help. There are videos that you can use.
And other resources.
And other resources. There's even online courses on resilience that you can use. And these are absolutely free.
Yes.
Yeah. So ito take advantage na po natin because these are free resources that we can use to help ourselves.
And I know there's a course there na ala Coursera that they can take. It's a skills building course. So if you want to learn more about healthier coping skills, no, for free, you can go through that. Syempre, may modular lang siya. You need to really sit down and read through it. There may mga learning checks din. So parang nagsuschool ka ulit. But it will help you build your coping or healthy coping mechanisms or strategies for yourself. No?
Okay. Speaking of healthy coping, yan, makikisuyo naman tayo kay Doc Cam. Magturo naman tayo ng kahit isa lang na self-care technique. Pero before we do that, ikaw ba, Doc Cam, how do you care for yourself?
How do I care? Well, I have siguro top 3, no?
Okay.
The first one is before I would exercise. During the pandemic, I would exercise a lot because
Okay.
nasa bahay lang. But now since we're outside, nata-traffic tayo, I can only insert an hour of walking. While walking, I'd listen to either podcasts or watch series, no? So kahit walking lang.
Sure.
And then second is to have a right amount of sleep. So if I can
Okay.
nap in the afternoon, I would nap. If I can sleep earlier, I would sleep earlier.
Okay.
And then lastly is that yung mga dogs ko are my stress relievers.
Pet therapy.
Yes, pet therapy and
Yeah.
unconditional love from them. No, it's
Okay.
very helpful. Ikaw, Doc Jean.
So, same exercise and sleep. I try to get enough sleep. I also have this habit now of, and I picked it up actually from our Katatagan program. So we actually created a resilience program called Katatagan Plus. And one of the things that we teach there is mindfulness. So I do that. especially when I am parang stressed and tense. And mamaya, Doc Cam will demonstrate. But the other thing that I try to do before I go to sleep is I do a gratitude exercise. So I try to remember, I think to myself, what are 3 things that I am grateful for today? And alam mo, it makes my sleep better. Or, hindi ko alam kung psychosomatic, but it really makes me feel parang it's a good way to go to bed.
Alright. So as Doc Gina mentioned, napapractice niya rin ito, no, yung mindfulness. And that is one self-care technique that is heavily researched, no, and evidence-based talaga siya. There are different types of mindfulness exercises. You can search it in Facebook, in YouTube, no. There's an app for it as well. But today, well, we'll practice it. It's simply put, it's a breath-based or breath-based meditation, and it's the focus is paying attention to our breath and what we are feeling at the moment, and what we are feeling in a more non-judgmental way, right?
So I think this is really coming from the fact that a lot of people, especially now with our gadgets, di ba? Parang it's just so easy to ignore,
Yes.
right? To pretend we're not feeling bad and we'll just escape. But the point kasi in mindfulness is you cannot address something if you don't admit it first, or you don't recognize that you do feel it. But a lot of times kasi we feel threatened, di ba? Kaya nauso yung it's okay not to be okay. Kasi
Yeah.
we don't like feeling not okay. But the point of mindfulness is it's okay if we admit that we're not okay. I think that's really the first step to healing and recovery.
Yes. And then I agree, Doc Gina. So mostly kasi parang when we feel something negative, and obviously if it's negative, parang and evolutionary wise, we don't want to feel it,
Correct.
right? Because survival yan na I don't want to either feel fear or something negative, or
Yeah.
to be in a situation that it is going to harm me. So usually we just, escape from it or whatnot. And mindfulness helps us sit with whatever we're feeling, if it's positive, negative, in a more non-judgmental way, just feeling whatever that emotion is. And usually, emotions are very fleeting. No? Nawawala din siya. I mean,
Yeah.
unless na meron talagang nagte-trigger, no? Pero nawawala din naman siya. So mindfulness teaches us how to sit with it and just, like be with it and just notice if it goes away or it's still there, and what is it telling you really.
Okay.
So siguro let's have a quick demo on
Sige,
mindfulness.
let's try it out. So, to those who are watching, listening to us right now, samahan nyo kami. Yan, Doc Cam will lead us through a quick mindfulness exercise.
All right. So I hope for everyone who's listening right now, you can sit in a comfortable position. You can sit or lie down in a comfortable position, your hands on your lap, your backs on the chair or on the bed. You can sit relatively straight with your feet flat on the floor and your hands on your knees and lap. If you're lying down, you can just relax your backs on the bed, head on the pillow, hands or arms by your side. Just check to make sure that your shoulders are aligned with your hips. And if you're feeling a little sleepy, you can tilt your chin up a bit and just take a moment to watch your breath. As you do this, you can either close your eyes or focus on something in front of you, whatever is more comfortable for you. Notice each breath as you inhale. You can watch the breath as it comes in through your nose and pass through your throat. And then watch where your breath goes after that. You may notice that your chest or your stomach expands when you breathe. And then notice how it feels as you exhale. You can notice everything there is to notice about your breathing. Notice how your breath sounds. Notice the temperature of your breathing as you inhale through your nose and exhale. And if your thoughts should happen to wander away, it's perfectly a natural thing. You can just gently bring your thoughts back, not in a forceful way, but just in a very gentle way. Just return your attention back to your breath, because there's really nothing else that you need to be doing right now. Just simply sitting or lying down and noticing your breath. As you focus on your breath, you might feel different types of emotions. You can silently label them. Notice where they are in your body. And just gently inhale. Some air on that part of your body and exhale it out. Continue focusing on your breath as you inhale and exhale. And if it's comfortable for you, you can just notice your breath as you expand right in the chest, right in the center of your chest. If that's uncomfortable to you, then you can just watch the whole length of your breath as your chest expands in the inhalation, and then watch as your chest goes down with each exhalation. As this practice comes to an end soon, slowly bring your attention back to your entire body and your surroundings. When you're ready, open your eyes and come back alert and awake. Maybe take some time to stretch before we resume our session for today. Kumusta ka naman, Doc Jean?
Ang sarap. Thank you, Doc Cam. I hope our listeners followed along. That was such a refreshing break. Ilang minutes lang yun?
Siguro mga 5 minutes,
5 minutes lang
yun.
yun, di ba? So ito yung, it actually, for me, it beats a power nap. Kasi it really just infuses oxygen to your body. I do this, like, when I'm in the midst of traffic, tas naiirita na ako. I actually also do mindfulness. Like, when I have to do something, and I'm a little bit nervous, like, I have to give a big presentation. So, just to calm myself down. And I remember, Cam, meron isang incident na nakasakay ako sa isang sasakyan. Tapos, may isa pang sasakyan na nanggigit-git sa amin.
Yeah.
Tapos, nakikita ko na yung dalawang nagmamaneho, nag-uumpisa na yung road rage nila. Natakot na ako as a passenger. Ang ginawa ko, tinapik ko yung driver at sabi ko, Kuya, hinga ka lang muna. Relax lang, hinga ka muna, hinga. Ganyan. Tapos parang kumalma naman siya. Tapos sabi ko, wag mo na lang pansinin kasi mababangga lang tayo.
Correct.
So for me, especially those with anger management issues. Magandang matutunan itong habit na to. And you know, it's free. Ako, I don't know if you used an app during the pandemic. I was using Headspace
Yes.
or Calm. Yan, just to follow along. But Lusog Isip, the website.
It
Meron
also
din
has,
siya, no?
yes, it also has different resources, mental health resources that, including mindfulness, audio guides. So there's an English version, a Tagalog version, and I think may Bisaya.
May Bisaya
Bisaya
yata.
version.
Oo. Sige. So, yun lang. Parang we wanted to show just one very simple, very cheap way of coping that you can learn. And yun nga, it doesn't take a lot of resources nor a lot of time, and you can do it anywhere. So, mindfulness, one of the most parang evidence-based coping interventions that we have.
And maybe I'd like to share then an information, Doc Jean, no? And kasi nakita ko, naalala ko, na medyo mataas din yung percentage of anxiety, no? Which is larger than depression. And one of the strategies or key strategies that we teach clients for who are anxious is really breathing or mindfulness practice. Kasi again, evidence-based siya. And it really regulates your nervous system. Kasi kapag naka-panic attack ka na or anxious, or before that, no, you feel anxiety in your body, na-dysregulate yung nervous system mo. You can't think straight, you're overwhelmed, you might make decisions that are not so good, right? So, breathing, kahit 5 counts inhale or 4 counts inhale, and then 4 counts exhale, just by doing that.
Box breathing.
Yes, box breathing. Like you inhale 4 to 5 counts. Baka may iba na hindi maka-reach ng 5. So 4 counts and then stop your breath for 4 counts and then exhale for 4 counts. And just repeat that maybe 5 times.
Yeah.
It really helps regulate your nervous system so that you can think clearer, no?
Yeah.
Or clearly, and then mas maging kalmado ka in the situation.
Yeah. So, that was one way, and we hope that if you found it useful, you will continue to try to explore more about it. As we said, there are many apps, there are many resources that can help. So before we end, I'd just like to shout out to those who are listening to us. So shout out to Jennifer Chua. Good afternoon, and thank you for listening. Ayan, we'd also like to open the floor to any questions that people might have about mental health. This is your free consultation or time to ask us about anything that you'd like to know about mental health. So please feel free to just chat your question on the comments section in the Facebook page, and we will try our very best to answer your question. Yan. Meron ba tayong mga what are our common questions? Or meron ba tayong mga katanungan from our audience? Ito, meron ako nakuha from my personal chat. Doc, what if you feel you do have a problem, pero sinasabi sa'yo ng parent mo na hindi yan totoo? Nasa isip mo lang yan. Ayan.
Nako, Doc Jean, parang totoo. That really happened.
Diba?
Parang to be honest,
Yeah.
meron ako a
Ganun,
couple
no?
of clients to let them know, no, in schools, mental health literacy should be strengthened there. In workplaces, because most parents are working,
Correct.
so they need to also strengthen mental health literacy, promotion and prevention in the workplace para ma-reach yung mga parents na to, no? But if that's the scenario that there is a student na may parent na, well, if the student has a guidance office, I think it's
baka
best.
sa school, no?
Yes. The guidance office should titimbrihan yung parents,
Correct.
diba? Na baka this, might need talk therapy or something. And konting advocacy nandun for the guidance counselor to tell them, right? Because why is it important that parents support these services, no, for their children? It's because hindi lang to one time, big time. And I think that's a common myth. Another myth, no, na once lang siya magpa-therapy,
Okay na
kausapin
siya.
niya lang yung therapist, okay na
Okay
siya.
na siya.
Common na question,
Oo
Doc
nga.
Jean, sinasabi nila.
Ilang beses?
Ilang sessions
Ilang
ba yan?
sessions
parang
ba yan?
parang PT, no? Ilang sessions lang.
Or parang gamot, di
Oo,
ba?
parang ilang weeks
Anong
lang.
dosage niyan?
Oo. So,
Oo.
hindi siya kasi ganon. It
Yeah.
depends really on whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So, sometimes it can even go on for years depending on the case,
But
right?
there are also times na minsan 1-2
Once
sessions,
lang, yeah,
okay
one
na,
or
di
two,
ba?
okay lang. Oo.
Yeah.
So, and because it might be continuous, 2 to 3 sessions or even longer, syempre kailangan talaga ng support ng parents, right? And also, similar lang yan, protective factors yung parents sa kanilang
True.
sa mga anak nila.
True.
One of the protective factors aside from being in school, right? Are the support of the parents. So
Yeah.
if hindi siya supported ng parents, it can also contribute to the mental health
Correct.
condition of the
Correct.
student or the
Yeah.
child, diba?
Yeah. Conversely, sa workplace naman, I remember we had one client where ang ano naman nila is wini-weaponize daw ng mga younger workers nila yung mental health. And so when I was trying to dig, sabi ko, ano ibig sabihin po ng wini-weaponize? Sabi na, yung kunwari, sinisingil mo na yung deliverable nila, tapos ang isasagot sa'yo, may mental health issues po ako. Diba? So sabi ko, parang ang hirap nga naman, for if you put yourself in their shoes, how do I deal with this? So, ang explanation ko na lang sa kanila is, one, we cannot invalidate point blank, di ba? Parang we cannot just say that's not true. The first thing that we need to do is ask, okay, so if you're experience this mental health issue, have you seen someone? Have you sought help? And then, pero gusto ko rin sabihin na parang hindi rin naman dapat excuse all the time, di ba?
Yes,
Because we do
correct.
have an obligation to care for ourselves. So, hiwalay natin yung compassion and support. Also, from making sure that we also make people accountable. So, it's a fine line, it's a tension, especially in the workplace when you're dealing with an employee who does have mental health issues. How can you be compassionate? How can you be supportive? But also make sure that you hold people accountable for the work that they are supposed to do. So maybe in a later time, we can talk about that. But also maybe we can invite them, no? To
Yeah.
our upcoming workshops. Yeah.
Yes, and I think it's on the screen. I don't know if you can read it, but we have a lot of workplace mental health workshops in the next few months, as mentioned by Doc Gina. One is workplace self-care and stress management, and there's a QR code there. I don't know if you can scan it, but it's how to take care of yourself, how to manage your stress, or especially if you work in a stressful environment. It will be on September 24, 2025, and it's via
online.
Zoom. Online lang siya.
It's
Yes.
online, yeah.
Yes. May konting learning investment there. And you can head on to our Facebook page at Renew Health SE. No, check us out. All of the information on our website or on our workshops are there. Aside from the September 24 workplace self-care and stress management workshop, we also have another workshop on October 27, 2025 on developing mental health policies and programs for workplaces. Ayan, very interesting. Ito, one-day workshop, Doc Gino. Maybe you can share what are the topics that will be covered on that workplace workshop in Rockwell, Ateneo.
Yes, with the Ateneo Graduate School of Business. So it's a
yes.
partnership with them. Kasi when we did a survey about last year, we found out that about more than half of workplaces actually don't have any mental health policy or
policies.
program in place, even if it's already mandated by DOLE, even if it's already mandated by the mental health law na 2019 pa enact. So one of the things that we wanted to do is help workplaces, develop a mental health policy and identify mental health programs that can be done in the workplace. So there are things, it does not always have to be, there's a misconception kasi na mahal ang mental health. So what we're trying to advocate is there are things that can be done in workplaces by, say, your nurse, di ba, your office nurse, or by human resource personnel who can be trained to deliver basic mental health services. So for example, things like mental health first aid, is something that can be taught to paraprofessionals. So that when there's an incident that happens in your workplace or in your school or in your community, hindi rin tayo nagpapanik.
Correct.
Alam natin kung anong gagawin, paano pakalmahin, paano tulungan yung mga tao. So that's one of the things that we try to empower, community schools and workplaces. And then in December,
Yes, December 4, there will be an understanding and preventing suicide. And nakita natin, sobrang taas ng suicide ideation dun sa recent survey. So I think, and this month is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And I'm sure there are a lot of suicide prevention talks, and syempre kapag downtime na at wala na but you need it, on December 4 we will have a understanding and preventing suicide workshop still in Ateneo Graduate School of Business in Rockwell. It's a one-day workshop.
alam nyo ba, quick mataas din kasi ang suicide rate, especially pag holiday season. So parang nagugulat yung mga tao talaga. Oo, especially for those who are alone or isolated, 'di ba? In the midst of merrymaking with a lot of people, some people can feel very lonely, or very isolated. So obviously, we don't want that to happen. So these are the things that we hope we can help your community, your school, or your workplace handle. So today was really about Mental Health 101. We wanted to differentiate the myths and facts about mental health. And we hope you were able to pick up some new information, new knowledge that can help you, your family, your school, your workplace, your friends. Because we believe that, mental health is not just the person's accountability. We are all responsible for the mental health of each other.
Correct. And I totally agree, Doc Jean. And we would like to thank everyone tuning in to Radyo Katipunan as well as in our Facebook page, Renew Health PH. Facebook page. If you still haven't followed us, please follow us or like our Facebook page so that you will know more about different types of workshops and trainings and services that we do. Maybe we can also collaborate and help you in the future.
Ayan. So our segment for Wellness Wednesdays is every second
Wednesday of the month.
So we will see you next. Kailan nga ba? October. Ano nga ba?
Second week of October.
Is it October
maybe
15?
October 8.
October 8. Yan.
October 8.
So guys, if you want us to talk about something that you're interested in, can you help us? Drop us a line. Please put on the chat box your suggestions, and we will take that into consideration as we prepare for the next episode. So I said, October 8th. Our next episode is on October 8th. Please feel free to put down your suggestions or questions, and we will try to answer them in the next episode.
Yes, and I think there are several topics parang aligned na in the next several months, but we are willing naman to insert a topic that maybe resonates with our audience and resonates with you. Maybe you want to learn more about it, right? We might cover mental health in the workplace or in schools, in the next few episodes. But maybe if you want to know something, just type it in the chat box or message us in our Facebook account. We also have a website. It's on our Facebook page. You might want to also check that out. And thank you so much for joining us today. No?
So, this was our first episode as Renew Health in Wellness Wednesday. We'd like to shout out to the organizers. We'd like to thank Radyo Katipunan and Sir Leland de la Cruz, who invited us to be part of this series. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. Wellness Wednesday, wellness that speaks to you from the body, mind, to the mic.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Take care.
We all want to live healthier in mind, body, and spirit. But where do we start? Sometimes all it takes is a good conversation. Tune in to Wellness Wednesdays on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Together with experts, inspiring guests, and real stories, we explore tips you can actually use. From managing stress, to eating better, to finding balance in a busy world. Because here, we believe wellness isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. So join us, and let's make every Wednesday a step toward your healthiest self. Wellness Wednesdays, wellness that speaks to you from the body, mind, to mic.